Hi, I'm Dr. Lindsey. Let me take you through the anatomy of a repair case hair transplant. This fellow is a 55-year-old, very athletic, tough guy. I think he won the state champion in wrestling. I think his son is a big wrestler in high school. He does jiu-jitsu. And later in the video we have a little interview where he talks about how he had two hair transplants, probably when he was too young to really think it through. And he came into our office looking like this. And if you look carefully, there ain't much hair there. And fortunately his scars weren't bad. Here's a picture of the back of his head. But there just isn't much hair in his recipient area. Probably because he didn't get shaved, and so the doctor could not see to make holes tight enough to cover that amount of scalp. Once the holes were made, the technicians couldn't see the slits to insert the hair. And then when the hair was put in, the surrounding hair may have stuck to the newly transplanted hairs and pulled them out in the first couple of days. We see that all the time. And lastly, they didn't factor in that the patient was going to lose a lot more hair. And so even if every single one of those hairs would have survived, and they probably didn't, when the surrounding hair goes away, it isn't enough. And so that's why he ended up looking like this. And so we crafted this plan where we would address his frontal hairline. And again, he's roughly my age, so we give him an age-appropriate hairline, which looks like this. And you can see in that plan there's very few hairs that we're going to have to either shave or take a chance of hitting and hurting. And so we did his first case by excising an old scar and closing his head in a 2-layer trichophytic pattern. And that's where the skin is sewn together in such a way that the hairs, which are my fingers in this thing, grow through and across the scar to conceal it. And so we did the first case, and then he came every day to get cleaned. And here he is at 1 week. And then it grows for a few weeks and then falls out. And then he emailed in this picture taken from his car. And interestingly, I did his first case either the day before or day after a close friend of mine. And both of them, at around 4.5 months, emailed me in pictures of their heads. That's typically when it starts to grow. Note at the end of his case, we've really packed that hairline as tight as we can. Now he's got relatively fine hairs, and so unlike planting hair or trees in a ditch, you have to make a discrete hole for each tree that goes in or for each hair. And so you pack it as closely as you can, but you have to leave a little room around each hair root for reinforcement so the hair doesn't fall out, and for blood supply to grow into that hair. Which typically takes 5 to 7 days for that to happen. And so we packed them as tight as we can. And that's one key. No matter how tight you pack hair, oftentimes at a second case you need a few more. Unless you have real thick hair like my mustache or curly-haired fellows. But even the average thickness hair, no matter how tight you pack it, you always want a little bit more. Hair is... you can be greedy about hair, and at a second case we almost always try to add 200 more grafts to the hairline if we did it first, even if it looks good, just because it'll look a little bit better. So now let's go to his interview.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Lindsey, I'm here with Kevin, who's a 55-year-old guy,
Yes.
roughly my age, and we've done 2 cases on you, but you were just telling me that you started this maybe when you were too young and you hadn't lost enough hair, and you went someplace and they did 2 cases on you.
Yes.
Without shaving your head.
Yes.
My theory on when people don't shave the recipient area is that the doctor can't see to make enough holes. He also doesn't factor in the hairs that are going to go away on their own over time. The staff can't see to put those hairs in the holes. And then even if you get them in the holes, the surrounding hair pulls those hairs out. And so that was 20 years ago. And then you came in looking like this to me 2 years ago. And it's like that old Wendy's commercial. Where's the beef? Where's the hair? There ain't much hair there.
Nope.
So we agreed on this plan, and we put 2,013 grafts in you. And I just read you the breakdown. It was 259 singles and 1,754 twos and threes.
Okay.
And so you came every day, and in a week you look like this. And then this picture that you see right now is at 4 months. You seem like you're already starting to get enthusiastic, like a lot of guys are. It's like the things are starting to grow, and you get excited, and then, as you know, it kind of stops for a while, and you get kind of bummed out, or most guys do. And here's a close-up of your scar, and you wear a short haircut.
I do.
There's your scar, and you had 2 previous scars that I had to sew up to.
Right.
And there's still a little shock loss. Now hit click again, Lenny. So now you sent this picture in from your cards as a selfie at around 6 months.
Yeah.
And remember we did
that was after I left here, actually, for a scar check.
We did my friend, the banker, the day before, the day after you, and he sent me almost exactly the same picture. And I can tell when it's starting to work because you sent me these pictures of just a head. And so this is a couple months. And now click again, Lindy. We did a second case on him, which is shown here. And what it is we add a few hairs to the hairline, and then we started where we stopped before and work south. And on your second case, it was 1,820 grafts. You got 298 singles, which we put along the hairline, and 1,522 grafts, which I'm sure you heard me tell the girls, cut them a little thicker so that it gives you better coverage. It's less money, fewer grafts, but grafts that are bigger, that are a little bit bigger, that we put back here.
Sure.
To give you better coverage, because really all I'm concerned about is the better coverage. The money will flow if you give enough people good coverage. So we're just trying to get you the best coverage as possible. So you're now 10 months out from that.
That's right.
And now here's the picture of you before we started, after your 2 hair transplants like Billy Sells. And now back to you and me talking now. Any funny business I pulled with you?
No, if anything, I mean, you steered me the right direction because I wanted a really 22-year-old hairline.
And you're 55.
I'm 55, nearly 56.
Right. And all these 22-year-olds, I mean, we did a 24-year-old earlier this week, and we did 2 kids. If you're under 25, which is what my son is, I call you a kid because you're just still thinking that you're never going to age. They're all going to be 55 someday.
Eventually,
so
yeah.
Pretty much they all get a hairline that'll look okay when they're 55. Even if it's not great at 25, one day it's going to be great when they're 55, and they'll be happy with that.
Yeah,
Tark is pretty upfront in his video about kind of what to expect, and we've done 2 cases on him at that point. And he's super tough. He took no pain pills. I think he wanted to go back to jiu-jitsu on like the 3rd day, but you have to take a week off. But the fact that he didn't take any pain pills means he's probably tougher than most guys. I would say the average person that we work on takes 3 Advil or ibuprofen the first afternoon, 3 more at bedtime, and probably 3 Tylenol with codeines the first day. And the second day, almost everyone says that there's really no discomfort during the day, but they take 3 more Advil and another pain pill the second night to get to sleep. There are exceptions. That's the average hair transplant strip case that we do here at this office, and we do about 200 per year. And so now here he is after 2 cases. There's a before and an after. And here's a close-up of the scar. Now we've excised 2 of his scars and given him 1 trichophytic closure scar on the back of his head. He wears a relatively short hairstyle, and he looks unremarkable as far as his scar goes, and he looks normal as far as his face and hairline goes. Look at this picture here and think about what looks different. Here's a before, and then here's a few months after the second case, and then here's a few more months later. And see if you can figure out what happened to this man's appearance. Well, the answer is I did his upper eyelids, which means to take a little skin off the upper eyelids. As we age, everything sags, and men get hooding, and women get hooding of their upper eyelids. You can see it on my eyes right there. And so on Tark, we did an upper blepharoplasty to remove a little bit of skin and a little bit of fat, which we do in the office. It takes about 20 minutes and a few days of downtime. And it just makes you look more rested. We've got plenty of hair transplant patients who've come back and had that done. And I guess all total I've done roughly 7,000 upper blepharoplasties, mostly on women. And so I think that makes Tarek feel like he looks a little more refreshed than if we didn't do that. He just looks less tired. And so that was just a little extra that we do sometimes, and he was kind enough to let us show his face. Well, do your research. If we can help you, please give us a call. Thank you.